Welcome back. You're watching Money, 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 and we are talking taxes. It's July. You need to gear up for filing that income tax return, which is why we're in conversation with Mayur Shah of EY. So, Mayur, now that we've understood the basic forms that we need to look at, I believe there are certain additional disclosures that need to be made this year, particularly, for instance, the amount of money that we deposited in our bank accounts during demonetization?
That is absolutely correct. Now, during the demonetization period, whatever cash which has been deposited, if it exceeds in aggregate about 2 lakh, then one has to report that in the disclosure requirement. Which would also mean that, you know, a person who is disclosing and has no explanation to offer can get into another challenge as well, because now the tax officer will try and scrutinize those payments or those deposits and will become a challenge. Apart from what is deposited into the bank, if you have repaid any loans in cash to the bank or to any other person, and that also needs to be reported therein.
Is there a threshold there, as in loans above certain amount? Or?
No. So it's if it is deposited more than 2 lakh, then you are required to, reflect in the
whether it's a cash deposit, whether it's a repayment of loan by way of cash, it all needs to be disclosed.
Disclosed.
Okay. Apart from this, I remember we had discussed, earlier, additional disclosures with respect to complete assets and liabilities, where basically you need to tell the taxman everything. Does that come into play this year? And if so, for what category of taxpayers?
Brilliant point, the way it has been put in the form itself. Earlier, and every time whenever any returns are picked up for audit or scrutiny, the tax officer eventually would ask for a balance sheet to be drawn up. Though, by law, person is not required to maintain books of accounts.
At least an individual, yeah.
As an individual, yes. Now, those people, everyone who are drawing income or whose total taxable income is above 50 lakhs are now mandatorily required to give list of all assets at their cost. And also the liability which are there in relation to such assets needs to be reported. Eventually, it is indirect way of asking everyone to prepare their balance sheet, prepare their financials, and submit it to the tax office in the return form itself.
This doesn't sort of, depend on whether you're filing ITR 2 or 3 or 4?
No, it does not depend on that. Okay. It is required to be submitted in all forms for persons who are having taxable income more than 50 lakhs.
So when you say disclose all assets at cost, what exactly does that mean? If there's a house, if there's a luxury vehicle, how do you disclose this?
So, you have house property, then you have to disclose in the schedule which has immobile property schedule. You have to disclose where is the property, what is this property, when you had bought it, what is the original cost of the property. Everything you have to start disclosing those things.
Do you have to sort of declare the notional current value or current
No, that
price?
Is not required to be disclosed.
Because then that will open up a whole new Pandora's box in terms of valuing that asset.
So there is no valuation which is required to be disclosed. You have to disclose it at original cost. Also, you spoke about yachts, aircraft, or, you have any luxury vehicles. All are to be disclosed in your return of income. Apart from that, you have investment, fixed deposits, or, any other investment, life insurance policies, or, you have all such assets are required to be disclosed. Now, it is extremely challenging. So far, nobody was disclosing their insurance policies.
Even insurance policy is considered an asset?
Yes, it is being considered as an. So that's a different change one has to realize, and that has to be disclosed.
Okay, and this is all mandated by law. So if you're not making these disclosures, essentially you're against the Income Tax Act?
Yes.
What sort of penal provisions can then you attract?
So for non-disclosure, there are a couple of things which can happen. So if you have disclosed any assets, but you are not disclosing the original cost, when you sell the assets, will they use the disclosure which you have made? And if you have not reported correct cost, then again you will have a problem in terms of calculating capital gains or, income tax accepting your calculations.
Yeah.
The other thing is that non-disclosure can expose you to a penalty. Now, it is very difficult for me to right now quantify the penalty, but depending upon the gravity of the situation, because penalty is something which is discretionary. If there is a bona fide belief, okay, I was not to report, or, it was a genuine reason you could not report, then penalty can be waived off. But otherwise, there is a penalty on that then.
So everybody earning above 50 lakhs, better watch out and better get set to absolutely declare your balance sheet. Any other additional sort of information that needs to be given out in the forms this year?
Correct. So form which was notified in the month of April and then it got revised on 24th of June.
Okay.
And that is ITR 1 and ITR 2 got revised very recently.
Okay.
Very surprisingly, it has added that non-resident are required to disclose their foreign bank accounts.
Okay.
Now, though by law, they are not even liable to tax on their foreign income. Why would they disclose their foreign bank accounts in India?
And these are foreign bank accounts, as in branches or money kept in the branches here in India of a foreign bank, or were they talking about foreign banks which are overseas?
So, it is bank account which is being held outside India by the non-resident person.
Okay.
And non-resident as per tax provisions. Now, what happens? We have various IT professionals who go for 1 year or 2 years, and for that particular years, those particular years, they are non-resident. They do have a foreign bank accounts to survive over there, to deposit their salary income, or to use this money for surviving there. Now they are required to now disclose all these foreign bank accounts in the return as well. Where such foreign salary is anyway not taxable, still they have to disclose these foreign bank accounts. If you don't disclose, then again you are getting exposed to the penal consequences.
Okay.
Practically what we have seen people doing, and may be right, may be wrong, is that if they have Indian bank account, they do not disclose foreign bank account. To my mind, that can expose them to a risk. But if there are so many expatriates who do not have a bank account in India, they do have a foreign bank account outside India. They may not like to disclose at all. What is to be done for them? Return never gets accepted if you don't disclose any bank account. So that is the biggest challenge which we are seeing can happen because of these new forms. Okay. And currently we have no solution to offer in that situation.
Okay. So it seems to have made tax filing or rather return filing this season fairly more complex than what we're used to.
Probably yes. You know what they are doing, and that is the view which I think I carry, is that they are trying to collect all information. And if this information is matching with the information supplied through AIR system or other things, then they will not pick up those returns for audit or scrutiny. But others' return can be picked up for audit very easily.
Sure.
So, they are trying to rationalize, scrutiny process, whereby, the self-assessment done by an individual, and it is so extensive. So, they are very sure that appropriate taxes has been paid. So, they can, use their resources, effort, only in respect of those people who are not disclosing their income appropriately.
Sure.
So, I think, gradually we are moving towards that, and this is a step towards it. As, the government has been saying, we want to curb black money, and maybe, this is the one way of going ahead with it.
Well, the taxman is definitely talking tough, and full disclosure is your only way out. We'll take a quick break, but on the other side, the big question on Aadhaar, who needs to declare, not declare, what happens after July 1, we'll discuss all of that when we come back.